Big boy Keegan. Riding the big boy four-wheeler. Knucklehead's right behind him.
Sunday for Shiner Sunday 4 o'clock. It's a free show with Thomas Michael Riley.
Geese over here I was talking about earlier, so let's walk up to them. They're probably gonna walk off into the water, and they might take off flying, but I don't want to spook them, but I don't want you guys to see them, so come on. Isn't that so cool? What's up, guys? We're just gonna walk past y'all. We're gonna go to the spillway over here. Y'all go for a swim if you want to. And we got deer tracks and hog tracks all over the place here. Isn't this crazy? I wish I had some food to give them. They become our little buddies. And like I said, we normally have 6. So I don't know if this is the original mommy and daddy, or we just, for the last year, there's been 6 of them. So I'm sure their family's close by, but that's cool. So neat. Yeah, that's our little resident geese. The property geese. Just hanging out, loving it.
Make me work, make me sweat inside, make me feel like I'm alive. Take this hurt, lady, throw it in my face. Don't let these bones slow you down. 'Cause I'm coming on strong. The grass should have looked greener. I need a true believer in disguise. If I'm loving you wrong.
Okay, so like I said earlier, we're here at the 17 acres today. We've done some videos. You guys have seen some of our previous videos of our cabin and our tiny home and our party barn. But today, I want to show you all the pond because the sucker's almost full. I actually haven't gone down there yet and taken a look at it. Normally we drive down here, but we just had a lot of rain. And I do have 4-wheel drive vehicles that would make it, but I like to keep my yard nice and pretty. I don't want to go mudding in something that we've spent so much time trying to look pretty and got it all nice and mowed and zero turn. We got a lot of good Bermuda coming in. We had this hill down below all done previously, and I don't know if we didn't pack it enough or what. But we had a really rainy spring, and I think it just got saturated and it kind of gave out on us, and literally we had a landslide. It's pretty wild. But we got Jace out here again. He started this morning, and I think he's just about gonna get it whooped out today, but we'll see. You see all the ducks flying off. Probably a little far off. Looks like they're still there. We'll see them here in a second, but there's probably 40 or 50 ducks down there. Of course, as we walk down there, they're gonna get scared and fly off. We've had some geese staying here on this pond. I think there was a mommy and daddy, 2 geese that I guess had 4 babies, and all of this past year in 2020, they pretty much like stayed on our pond. They were almost like our pet geese. We could drive up to them and not walk up to them, but I mean they'd let us get pretty close to them, and they would never fly off, and they hung out here, and they may be down here. We'll see if we can find them, but I'm sure they're old enough now. They're probably jumping around to a lot of the ponds, but you can see this erosion right here. This is why I don't want to drive down here, because we get tracks and then you're gonna get this big erosion right here. You can tell where the hogs have been rooting there. That pisses me off. We want to try to keep as much vegetation on this ground, and we'll talk about that here in a second on the spillway, why that's important. When you've got this vegetation on the ground, it keeps the rain and all the water coming down, because we're on a big hill. I mean, it's hard to tell probably in this video, but I mean, we're on a hill like this right now. And so this water, when it comes running through here, it just, man, it erodes stuff really, really quickly. And so having this vegetation on here makes a big, big difference. You can see this is the last time we came out here a few weeks ago in the Tacoma. It did make a big mess, but again, when it's muddy like this, that's what I'm really trying to avoid. Looks like I got a lot of winter grass coming through. I don't know if it's some of our ryegrass from before, but then you can see we've got all this good Bermuda grass too. Look, get it. Look at all those ducks flying off. That's crazy. That was a lot of them. So here we are down below at our dock. I think we built this, I think we're 20 foot this way, 24 foot this way. This whole pond got us very excited to, I guess, create this pond and have a place to where we could come down and fish and come out here and swim and just have a lot of fun out here in the summer. So we're really excited. I mean, we're still here in February, so the water's really cold. I'm definitely not gonna be getting in the water anytime soon, but this summer it should be a lot of fun. So while we built this pond, we kind of figured out where the water level was gonna be at based off the level of the spillway. And so we built this dock based off of that. And right now we're probably 3 foot off, but we still have, we'll check out the spillway over there. It looks like the water's still gonna come up about another 18 inches to 24 inches. So the water should be just about a foot, maybe 18 inches below this, which is what we wanted when we built it. But this is a whole nother YouTube episode right here that we'll have to get into at some point in time. But when the water was down, we built this sucker, and I just kind of built it I didn't know exactly what I was doing or how we were gonna do it, but I put a big piece of tin horn. It was like a culvert, goes underneath the driveway to let water through. I think it was like an 18-inch culvert. We dug it as deep in the ground as we could. I think it was like a 16 foot, 18 foot. And so that's in the ground. And then we picked up this big 12 by 12 fir beam and stuck it inside there. And we built all this on the ground. So we built all that on the ground. And then when we put it in place, I thought once I built the deck around it, it was gonna square it up and make it really, really strong, but it was never gonna be strong enough to swing on it the way we want to. So we came back and built this concrete surrounding. It's 4 foot by 4 foot, and it was supposed to have been almost 12 foot tall. But do you see how that's rounded? Whatever you need to do to get a shot of that. What happened is we had a concrete truck out here, and we had a pump truck sitting up there, and we had our forms all set up, and as we pumped concrete in there, the whole thing just kind of started expanding on us. And so we had to get some straps and strapped it up, and it was just super stressful. It was a nightmare, but ended up working out okay. We got to this point to where we were about 10 foot full of concrete. I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and stop, because if the whole thing would have busted me, I would have lost all my concrete, and it would have been a catastrophic mess. And so what we're gonna do is cut off these rebars and get this trimmed out to where it's nice and smooth, and aesthetically looks a lot more pleasing. But the whole reason of doing this was for this right here. This will be the goal this summer, to jump off and swing and jump in the water. I mean, look at that. Of course, it doesn't go that far because there's no weight on it, but when you've got weight on it and you jump off of here, I mean, it just launches you. And when you fall into the water, you're probably gonna be in water that's about 8, 10 foot deep, I'd imagine. So I know we've done the video previously on the zip line, which you can see right here. Look above you. That's the zip line. So if someone's brave enough, it'd be really cool to come down the zip line and let go when you're in the water, but that's pretty sketchy, and I don't even know if I want that just from a liability perspective. So there's probably not gonna be a lot of people that are allowed to do that. But with creating this pond and this whole 17 acres, I mean, we wanted things to do. Like when we come out here with our family and the kids, I mean, I want the kids to be able to swing, come out swimming, fishing. We got the zip line. I mean, there's just so many cool things that we can do. And so that's what motivated a lot of the stuff that you're seeing, and I'm kind of showing y'all. So this is our dock, this is our swing we built. Y'all have seen the zip line. Let's walk around and go look at the spillway, and I'll kind of explain the building of the pond a little bit more. The wood structure you see next to it looks like another dock. That was actually a deck that we had up there at the top of the hill right next to the cabin. And we lost part of that hill, so that deck kind of floated down the hill a little bit, and we went ahead and moved it down here. I was going to put some floats on it and kind of make it a floating dock, but I just haven't done that yet. Pretty much kind of on the property line. So look back up there, kind of where you can see the entrance down through here to right there. You see that tree line right there? You see that fence corner? This is our property line right here. So this is going to be our west side of the property. We own everything else on this side. And so when we built this pond, there was like a creek that was here previously, and that's what made us kind of have the idea to dam it up and make a pond. But like you see this bridge right here, this was always like a crossing because the creek was really deep. It was like a big valley, you couldn't drive across. So they had some tin horns crossing this, but it all eroded and had fallen out, and just you couldn't cross it. So the tin horn and the spillway, she's a flowing. Look at it go around that spillway. That's pretty impressive. Because we needed to build this up to where we could cross this part of the property, because this is really the only way you can get to this side of the property easily. You can get around at the back side, but you have to go around the dam. But because we built this, we're going to be flooding our neighbor's property, as you can tell. But we got her permission and had her sign some paperwork, and she was good with it. Plus, I mean, she kind of wanted her own little pond, so she got a little pond out of it. And this dam allows for us to cross onto our side and kind of create a separation point from this pond to our big pond that you see right here. So what happens is there's just a lot of water. I mean, it's just a big valley. It's a big hole that comes through here and feeds into the Red River. I mean, the Red River's probably less than half a mile from us. Y'all can see the little pond over there. It gets filled, and like I said, you can see where it's wet right here. We try to really avoid not driving through here if we don't have to, because I don't want to rut it up and mess up our vegetation. We planted this Bermuda to help with any potential erosion as this goes into the pond. You get big rains, you'll see this flowing. I mean, it's actually flowing right now. It's just really, really slow, but it's filling up our big pond right now. And that's, honestly, that's how our pond gets the majority of its water. Yeah, it gets a lot off the hillside, but this being a big valley, there's just so much water that comes through here and fills this sucker up. So when this 11-inch rain came in, what it did is it filled up the pond instantly. Like, the pond was just full like in a day, but it was so full that it was going over the spillway. And that's what spillways are made to do. You don't want the water going over your dam. The water was going over the spillway, but the way our spillway was built at the time, it wasn't really ready for that much water, especially with us having no vegetation. When I say vegetation, like grass and weeds and different things. So it started eroding it, and literally it dropped the level of our pond by probably 6-7 foot because it just eroded out the spillway. And so we actually lived with the pond like that for a while until we found another company to come out and fix the spillway. And of course, we had to wait for the right time of the year to where it wasn't raining. And you can tell where we stole a lot of dirt right here. There's that big tractor y'all have seen on other properties. It's got a scraper on it. He literally just comes through and scrapes the dirt, picks it up, and then dumps it wherever he needs it. And so we had to wait for good weather so we could do that. But we've got some of the geese over here I was talking about earlier, so let's walk up to them. They're probably gonna walk off into the water. They might take off the line, but I don't want to spook them, but I don't want you guys to see them, so come on. Isn't that so cool? What's up, guys? We're just gonna walk past y'all. We're gonna go to the spillway over here. Y'all go for a swim if you want to. And we got deer tracks and hog tracks all over the place here. Isn't this crazy? I wish I had some food to give them. They've become our little buddies. And like I said, we normally have 6. So I don't know if this is the original mommy and daddy, or we just, for the last year, there's been 6 of them. So I'm sure their family's close by, but that's cool. So neat. Yeah, that's our little resident geese. The property geese. Just hanging out, loving it. I mean, we'll drive by with the 4-wheeler, and they're a little more skittish when we drive by, but we'll come by real slow, and they'll normally either take off or just jump in the water like they just did, but pretty friendly for the most part. I need to bring some food down here for them. So guys, we are down here below. You can turn around and look right here. So this is kind of our water level right now, and we are standing on the spillway. So this is the lowest point of the whole pond, and again, having the spillway in place is what protects the dam. So you can tell, I mean, it's probably hard to tell on camera, but this is probably the high point right here, I'd say. So the level of the pond is going to come up to this point, which, like I said before, is probably going to be like another 12 inches up, if that. And so you can tell where all the grass is at. We planted this Bermuda sod. We put all this down because the last summer this pond was finished, the spillway was completed, and we didn't know if rain was coming or how fast it was going to come. We didn't want to have a repeat of what we had the prior year with that 11-inch rain. So we immediately got down here and put down all this grass and watered it for 2 weeks because we were like dead summer. This is like July, August, like no rain. And so we were down here with a big water pump and just watering this. We're trying to do it twice a day, but I mean, we at least watered it once a day. I think we got a break like once or twice and actually rained, but we watered it pretty much every single day for 2 or 3 weeks straight because we spent a lot of money purchasing it, of course, and second of all, installing it. So we wanted to make sure that it took and rooted and stayed here. And of course, we're wintertime now, so it's yellow. It's dormant right now. But the plan, the goal is when the water does come up, it's going to come through here, the spillway, and this is where it's going to drain at. And with this vegetation being here, it's going to keep it from eroding like you can see like on different parts of our property. And so we did this last summer. It's not been quite a year. It's probably been 6 or 7 months. And slowly but surely, we're getting some good rains, and it's filled the pond up. And we're almost at full capacity. So like I said, when we first started this 3 years ago, this was the dream that we had to create this pond, and we're probably about 12 inches away from being at full capacity. So it feels really good. We're wanting to get it stocked, put some bass in here, get some catfish, some bluegill. We're probably going to stock it based off of it being a 4-acre pond. I don't know exactly how many acres it is, but I've kind of done an estimate on Google Earth, and I think it's right at 4 acres. You can see the dock that we were standing on earlier across the way. But then what we also did is, this is kind of a high point where you see that island. And so we said, instead of digging that out, let's keep that there. And we actually built it up a little bit. And so we estimated once water is at full capacity, the whole thing's gonna almost flood, and it should be almost like a 30 by 30 little circle would be the goal. So I think it'll be fun. Jump off the dock and come over here. The water's kind of shallow coming up to it, so swim for a little bit, but then you'll be able to almost walk onto it and just go fishing off of it. But yeah, this is our pond here at our 17 acres. It's been quite the headache up to this point with all the different things we've dealt with, but we're really excited. This is really perfect timing because here we are I was seeing it was February earlier, but today's March 1st. So we're just now getting into March. So here in the next month or two, it's gonna start getting really warm, and it's gonna be really fun to come out here and use the zip line, use the swing, come out on kayaks, come fishing. I mean, this was part of the dream of building the cabin, was to have something like this, that just spend the summer out here, just having fun, relaxing, sitting on the dock. But yeah, three years later, we're at almost full capacity. And even though like we've got a foot more to go, I mean, we're happy with this. I mean, the pond's not always gonna be at full capacity. I mean, even if we got a rain tonight, we'd be at full capacity tomorrow. But then a week or two from now, if we don't have any rain, it's gonna evaporate and things like that. This is the goal. I mean, this is what we were kind of shooting for. So we're excited to be here and be ready for summer. So we'll do some more videos this summer so you guys can check it out and have to let us know what you think. But yeah, if y'all are enjoying these videos and you've not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe, Briscoe Homes. Also, if you'd enjoy this video, please hit that like button. Till next time, peace.